Good morning. Continuing in 1 Peter, we switch to a different kind of transition to a new text. We begin a new subject matter, and it deals with submission to authority, which I know is everybody's favorite concept. So listen to 1 Peter 2:13 and 14 this morning. Be subject. The word for subject there is the word hupotasso. Think of the idea of submitting. Be subject or submit for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme or to governors as sent by him to punish those who do evil and to praise those who do good. Here's what I want you to focus on. Swallow some hard pills. Who was the emperor at the time that Peter was writing this? The emperor at the time was Nero. Nero was ruthless in regard to Christians. He was far worse in his treatment of Christians than anything we have seen and anything any of you have seen in the United States in your lifetime. It doesn't even come close. Keep that in mind, because here in this context, the exhortation is one of submission. Why? Well, because you get the point that these human institutions have a connection to God. I'm supposed to look through the human institution to submit to it like I would if you were a woman and you're in a marriage, you're supposed to, according to Ephesians 5, you're supposed to submit as to the Lord. Well, guess what? Your husband is trying to look like Jesus, I hope, but he ain't Jesus. But you're supposed to submit to him as though you were doing it to the Lord, because your act of obedience is an offering of a spiritual sacrifice to God. You're following Jesus' servanthood, and you're reflecting that, and you're acting as to the Lord. Same thing with us in government. We're supposed to act as to the Lord. We're supposed to look through the government and see that our responsiveness is a sacrifice, a submission, a subjection that we make as to the Lord. So be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution. Well, there's a lot at stake. Our testimony is at stake. Whether it be to the emperor as supreme or to governors as sent by him. Don't miss the fact that someone else could be president other than Joe Biden right now. You may not like that. I don't know. But whether you like it or not, it doesn't change the fact who is. Sent by him to punish those who do evil and to praise those who do good. That's the intent of government. Government isn't always going to fulfill that intent. Listen carefully. Whether government fulfills its intent or not doesn't change whether you and I should fulfill ours. Our job is to recognize the emperor or the king, not the office of, but the individual governor, our respective leaders. And we're supposed to say, look, if we're not being called to actively violate something that is God's command, if that's not the case, then we're to submit. We're to submit. Because that's what a Christian does. Because a Christian lives under the sovereignty of God and sees those individuals permitted there because of God. May the Lord bless you with that today and challenge our hearts with it.